My mother wants me to forgive the man who nearly killed me in a hit and run, and let him around my kids like nothing happened. When I was 19, my mom's boss's son, Grant, hit me with his car and drove off, leaving me in the road with a shattered leg and a fractured spine. But that wasn't the worst part. My mother had never liked my boyfriend, now my husband, but she adored Grant. He came from money, a respected family, the kind of people she wanted to be associated with. So when I told her Grant was the one who hit me and fled, she didn't believe me. It didn't help that Grant's mother was my mom's supervisor. I always knew that played a role in whose story she chose to accept, but I refused to stay quiet. I went to the police despite my mom begging me not to, telling me I'd ruin a good family over a misunderstanding. While I waited for the case to move forward, I moved in with my boyfriend and his parents because home had become unbearable. My mother treated me like the villain in my own hit and run. Months later, the case resolved. There'd been a traffic camera near the intersection. Grant took a plea deal, probation, a suspended license, and a permanent no-contact order regarding me. No real jail time, because his family's lawyer was very good, but at least it was on record. At least someone official had said out loud that I was telling the truth. The day the case closed, my mother called and asked me to move back home. She apologized for everything. I knew it was suspicious, but she was my mom, and I wanted to believe her, so I forgave her. Big mistake, though not right away. The first year was peaceful. She was warm, remorseful, the perfect grandmother once my son was born. Cooked us dinners, babysat, the works. Then, a year in, everything cracked open. Not because she'd changed, but because I finally saw that she hadn't. I'd started a program a few hours away, staying on campus during the week and coming home weekends while she watched my son. One Thursday, a huge snowstorm canceled my classes, so I drove home early to surprise her. Guess who was in the kitchen when I walked in? My mother, Grant's mother, and Grant himself holding my son. I lost it. I grabbed my child and packed a bag while both women pleaded with me not to go. On my way out, my mother was sobbing, begging me to forgive her. I said I never would. Grant caught my arm at the door and said I should be nicer to my mother. I pulled free and left. She called me hundreds of times. I never answered. We got our own place, arranged childcare, and I cut her off completely. A week later, over $100,000 appeared in my bank account. I still don't know exactly where it came from. I never touched it. Money wasn't going to buy back my trust. Years passed. My younger sister got married, and I had to be in the same room as my mother again. I stayed civil while she asked about my son, who she hadn't seen in a decade, and my current pregnancy. She told me she wanted to fix things, to know her grandchildren before she died. She even claimed she'd always believed me about the accident. She just hadn't wanted to lose her job. I asked if she still spent time with Grant's mother. Sometimes, she said, mostly at church. I left it there. Because on top of letting the man who hit me hold my child, she still kept close with the woman who'd told half the town I'd made the whole thing up for attention. That night I couldn't sleep, and the next day, for reasons I still can't fully explain, I called her, the first time in 10 years, to see if there was any road back. It started fine. We talked about ordinary things, then she steered it toward church, which steered it toward Grant. She informed me how well he's doing now, how he feels just awful about it all, how I should really let it go. It was so long ago, you should be over it by now. Here's the thing, my mother had never once heard what happened from me. She'd only ever listened to his version, so I told her, the whole thing, the road, the leg, the months of physical therapy, the surgeries I still feel every winter. And I told her that every time she brings up the man who did that to me, she loses another piece of my respect until there's nothing left. I told her never to call me again, to keep our relationship exactly as empty as it's been, because she is never going to change. And I told her that none of my children would ever be in a room with her, because I cannot trust her to protect them over the people she'd rather impress. She started to cry. I hung up. My kids will never know her. That's the price of a mother who chose the wrong person to believe, over and over, until believing her was no longer something I could afford.